Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some Path of Exile economic discussion. And today I wanted to talk about an interesting little thing that's been happening with the prices of Shaper Vaal Masks at high item levels. You'll notice here that item level 86 Shaper Vaal Masks are selling for 2 exalts at the moment, and they're actually selling, and this is the case for all of the higher item levels as well. If you've got any of these in stock, just have a look, because they were only 10 chaos not all that long ago. I want to go through why this has happened, and some other options you've got for profiting out of them. But firstly, you want to understand the mindset of the people buying these Shaper Vaal Masks, because they will sell. It is not a bullshit price. Like often prices on the Path of Exile PoE.Ninja economy aggregation site can be gamed, especially on rare items like specific Shaper bases. However, that's not the case here. This is organic demand from crafters. Now, what's happening here is that there was a newly added unique item, Fractal Thoughts, and I'll bring it up if you're not familiar with it. I believe it's a tier 1 rarity unique. Certainly hasn't dropped for me personally. And it's a Vaal Mask, and it has a bunch of complicated stats that relate to various attribute orderings. So if your dexterity is higher than your int, you get one bonus. If your strength is higher than your int, you get a different bonus, and so on and so forth. And then there's this +2 maximum life per 10 intelligence. Now, my first thought when I saw this was, oh, if I use that on a Whispering Ice build, that could be 200 life on a helmet. However, I was very, very, very wrong. I massively misjudged the power of this item. What this is, this unique Vaal Mask is absolutely incredible on bow builds where you have dexterity very high, strength low, and intelligence lower than strength. What it will give you, because it's an endgame piece of loot, I'm going to assume that you perfectly divine it. 40% critical strike multiplier, which is great, 15% increased dexterity, and if you've got 800 dexterity, then this line here will give you 80% increased elemental damage. That is a big deal, and it means that dexterity stacking bow builds love Fractal Thoughts. If you've never played a dexterity stacking bow build, what they do is they use a Shaper bow with this mod. Adds 2 to 3 up to 4 to 5 cold damage to attacks with this weapon per 10 dexterity. So in practice, adds 3 to 5 cold damage per 10 dexterity. If you have 800 dexterity, which is what these builds typically end up shooting for, then this is adding an average of 3 to 5, which is 4 per 10 dex. That is 320 cold damage to attacks. That's then multiplied by everything else. And if you compare that to, say, a standard tier 1 cold damage roll, crystallizing, you'll see that here we have an average, so you're 178 for the first one, that's 89 average on the lower end. The higher end average is 163, so you're looking at 126 damage here. So you're basically talking considerably more damage than you get from an added cold support gem, even a high level one. It's an absolutely outstanding mod. And because the Shaper bows have all the other good mods as well, such as 12% increased attack speed, 20% chance to deal double damage, which is incredible, and the much, much rarer Socketed Gems chain one additional time. Because of these combinations, there's incredibly powerful dexterity stacking bow builds that are very popular at the moment. The other thing that really caused the Vaal Mask market to explode, and you'll see here that I've put up a post on Reddit about the explosion, was this video that was produced by streamer Crouching Tuna. If you've never watched him, definitely have a look at him on Twitch or on his YouTube channel. Really interesting to watch. What he does is he does extremely, extremely deep delving, and this video just shows him going for an hour through delving at depth 3000 or so in softcore trade-enabled Legion League. And all he's doing is killing everything before it can kill him, freezing everything and exploding corpses and doing all sorts of good stuff like that. And fundamentally, he is using a dexterity stacking build that has no life, that can use all the benefits of the Fractal Thoughts Vaal Mask. So we're talking about Vaal Masks, not this specific unique. Why is it that people care about the normal Vaal Masks? And the reason for that is that you can buy Fractal Thoughts and try to enchant it. And if you do hit Tornado Shot on the Tornado Shot enchant on a Fractal Thoughts, you can sell it for about 150 Exalted Orbs at the moment. This is not a bullshit price. This is what they legitimately sell for, and people will definitely buy it from you at that price. However, what's happening is that people prefer to craft on a Vaal Mask, and then in the event that you do get lucky and hit the Tornado Shot enchant, all you need to do is then use the Trash to Treasure Prophecy, which isn't cheap, but isn't ridiculously expensive either. I think it's 13.5 exalts, so it's expensive, but it's not cheap, but it's affordable if you've got a bit of currency in the league. And then that will turn your Shaper Vaal Mask into a Shaper Touched version of the Fractal Thoughts unique. And it will keep its enchant, so it will keep the Tornado Shot enchant on it. You can get the Tornado Shot enchant either by using enchanted fossils or by running the Eternal Labyrinth. Your choice. Enchanted fossils will cost a lot. The Eternal Labyrinth will provide currency, but will sink a lot of time into it. Your choice there. However, there is another factor with the Vaal Masks. If you don't hit a bow-related enchant, so for instance, you can hit Barrage fires an additional projectile, you can hit Tornado Shot fires 2 additional secondary projectiles. They're the premium bow enchants. But if you hit something else that's a very good enchant but that has nothing to do with dexterity stacking bow builds, you're not locked into it being on a Fractal Thoughts. And so for instance, if you were to hit a powerful Ice Nova enchant. Ice Nova has 40% increased damage, which is one of the more in-demand enchants in this league. What you could do is just leave it as a Vaal Mask, as a rare item, and then craft it further using fossils. And that's the reason that the Shaper ones are popular. If you hit certain items, certain enchants, you have the consolation prize. You've missed out on the massive payday of hitting Tornado Shot, then using Trash to Treasure to turn it into a Fractal Thoughts, but you've got a backup plan where you go, okay, I hit this Ice Nova, I'm now enchant, I'm now going to sell it to someone that is playing a build based around Ice Nova and the Eternity Shroud unique chest. Eternity Shroud, if you're not familiar with it, it's one of the most powerful armors in the game, and what it does is, leave aside some of the other stats on it, gain 5% of elemental damage as extra chaos damage per Shaper item equipped, and hits ignore enemy monster chaos resistance if all equipped items are Shaper items. This chest piece is extremely powerful. It's not that expensive. It's an Uber Elder specific drop, but it's extremely good, and it means that people want specific helmet enchants on a Shaper base. And so essentially, because you've got this backup plan, you've got 2 ways to get rewarded when you do succeed in hitting an excellent enchant on one of your Vaal Masks. So, as well as that, you might also just hit something that doesn't benefit from being Shaper. Say, for instance, most Cyclone builds don't care about the fact that it's a Shaper item. In fact, it might be slightly worse because it's harder to roll desirable mods on it. But that doesn't mean that hitting a premium Cyclone enchant, like 40% increased Cyclone damage, that's still something you're pretty happy with. In any case, that's the reason that Shaper Touch Vaal Masks have gone up so much. If you've got some of them, then I would strongly suggest you sell them while there's still hype, or alternately, that you take a few gambles on enchanting them, and if you hit something great, then let me know in the comments below. Definitely do also check out Crouching Tuner's Delve video. It's been my favourite Path of Exile related video this week, and I highly recommend checking it out. Anyways, you got any questions, fire away below. Otherwise, hope you have a good one.